to go through a few case studies. So if you are interested in learning more and actually seeing specific case studies, there's a few that have been included in here. So if you want to see how online marketing has worked for a cabinet maker and how it can increase your sales and sort of what type of return on investment you can expect, there's a video on this on our website. This is one of my favourite clients who's been with me since 2009, Daniel Clem from Gillette Turf Farm. This is a really great example of how a small business stayed relevant and stayed operating due to online marketing. He was a very wise guy. He switched from Yellow Pages to online in 2009, which is pretty revolutionary. Most people still stuck with Yellow Pages. Actually saved his business. So it's a good example of small business and Yellow Pages. This is a great example of how online marketing can actually grow your business and really grow the size of your business and your market spread. This is a good example. This lady here is from Guardian Vaults. They do vaults so you can actually store secure goods. This is a good example of how you can increase your sales and reduce your marketing costs across other traditional areas that may not be working for you anymore. And that was the case with them. This case study is good. This guy actually talks about the comparison between online marketing, actually hiring a sales rep, and how it's much cheaper to do the online marketing. And your online marketing is 24/7. It doesn't take any smokers or any holidays, and it's really, really getting you your business all the time. So it's a great example. This is for our retail people. So you may think that, like I mentioned before, you might be doing quite well, but the opportunity cost of doing really, really well is this piece here, what you don't know, what you don't know. In this case, they had a 98% increase in their traffic, and then it increased to 338%. And they had rankings before. So this is a good example of how you can just push it to the next level. This is an example, Government Communications Australia, who we sponsor. This is an example of how a poor provider can leave you stuck. So if they go out of business, you're pretty much stuck. So this is a really good example for that. This was the microsites I was referring to before. It's New Smile Dental or Churchill Dental. This is an example of how you can rank in a really competitive industry in medical. So he talks about here about how he already had rankings and he just needed to take it to the next level because he just wasn't competing effectively enough. So that's a great example of someone that's really invested strongly in online. And this was the one I was referring to earlier, Perth Cosmetic Surgery. So they've got their main website, and breast implants was a really big part of their business, and that was a way for them to really increase their rankings. So that was a screenshot I was talking about where if you Google it, they're coming up in two different sections of Google. So they've got two listings. For those of you in government or education, this is a good example of sort of considerations for your target audience. If people are updating your site all the time, your content management system needs to be easy to use. So that's a good example of that. And these are all on our website, by the way. Australia for Dolphins is a good example. If you're ever going to be featured in the news, or in this case, they were featured on 60 Minutes. Basically, Goldman Sachs chairman approached us and said, look, we're looking to do a charity to protect dolphins. Our only concern is we're going to be featured on 60 Minutes and we're going to have a lot of people come to the site. Will the site be able to handle it? This is a good example of how a cloud hosting solution was implemented to help with that traffic. It would have cost them $100,000 to $200,000 to support that in the usual way, but the solution we provided was cloud hosting and it was more flexible, so you could scale up and scale down. Multilingual, so for anyone like this client, All Gem Jewelers, they also operating in Asia, in different countries. So having a multilingual site so they can appeal to their audience, a different look and feel. This is a microsite targeting to a different location. One of our clients, Cheesecake Shop, we do a main site for them and we do a New Zealand site, so again, an example of an international spread. Pack and Send is a good example as well. We've done many microsites for them and mobile sites. It's really the whole gamut of digital space. And then you've got your e-commerce examples of Fine Lines and Big Graphic, and some of your big brands. So if you really want to see a great website, these websites are all quite large. And if you want any more case studies, as I mentioned, you can go to exa.com.au, which is the national site for our company, or you can go to Exa Perth for the Perth ones. These are some of my favourite sites to keep up to date with what's happening in Google. So I have a feed to Mashable, Google Think and The Age. And if you do want to keep in touch and see some of these updates, because we post articles all the time, feel free to go to our website.